Hey guys, welcome back to some more Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, I think we had tea with Yuko, Hanako, and Lily, I believe, and then the fireworks went off, and then we walked Lily and Hanako to their dorms. Or we, split apart, and then they went to their dorms, something like that, but, skip back to where we were. These days are really starting to heat up. This morning, I awoke covered in sweat. By the time the student body starts leaving their dorms for breakfast and morning duties, the sun has taken full effect. Oddly, that puts me in high spirits. It's not even 8 yet, and I feel that this day is going to be one of the most pleasant, tranquil, warm ones. If I weren't at a school that considered every absence from class a sign of life-threatening situation, I'd consider skipping the whole day and just relaxing in the school gardens. Yes, today will be a genuinely lazy day. For a second, I stop in mid-stretch and consider the nurse's warning about exercising. Maybe I should have kept up those morning jogs. Running with someone like Emmy might have been a little testing if I worked at my own pace. Who am I kidding? I can't stick to something like that without some kind of motivation. It's not like I sit around all day. The walk to and from the convenience store counts as exercise, right? Especially the walk back up the hill. Yeah, it's no big deal. Compared to months lying in a hospital bed, I'm getting plenty of exercise. If that's the way you want to look at it, sure. It seems that I'm not alone in my appreciation of the day. Nearly every member of the class is glancing through the window and into the tantalizing sky. Even the steadfast Shizune seems to lack her usual vigor for schoolwork. Misha, as brazen as ever, has even unbuttoned the top buttons of her shirt and is fanning herself with a notebook. I must have been staring as she's now sticking her tongue out at me. However, she shows no sign of halting her efforts, nor she tries to hide the fact. Lunch bell seems to catch everyone by surprise, and the class empties out at a much slower pace than usual. The heat seems to be draining the need to rush from everyone. Well, almost everyone. Hisao? Hey there, Hanako. What can I do for you today? Hanako already has a lunch bag in hand. I don't have to be a detective to work out where this is going. Would you like to have lunch with us again? I brought enough for everyone. Awesome. You don't have to be so stiff about it, though. Right. I take it we're going to the tea room? Please? Lily said she'll meet us there, so we should go together. Aw. Sounds like a plan. This heat has made me pretty hungry. Hanako breathes a sigh of relief, and I gather my things together. As usual, the aura of the tea room is refreshing, feeling isolated from the rest of the world. Then again, the usual din of the school seems to be a bit subdued, most likely from laziness promoted by heat exhaustion. Hanako slowly spreads her food on the table, intently focusing on every little movement as if she's trying to keep her mind off. I don't know what that was. I didn't even read the last few sentences. I was like, bringing a book. It's not much, but I can tell from her demeanor that she has prepared everything with utmost care. I guess Lily isn't here yet. Should we start without her? She'll be here soon. Hanako struggles with the lid of the container of rice. Here, let me help you with that. I take the container from Hanako's hands and try to force open the lid. Try as I might, it seems wedged shut. Let me guess, did you put this in while the rice was still hot? Yes, I was in a rush. I put the container on the table between us. I thought so. It looks like this is wedged shut. We'll need some hot water to get it open. But that could be a pain in here. We'd get water everywhere. In that case, how about I contribute to today's meal? At the door, Lily smiles while holding up a bag stocked with various buns and bread rolls. I can't help but do the same. Since you two had a change of plans because of me, I thought I would bring a little something. Thanks, Lily. Here, let me get that for you. With a little guidance, Lily's bread assortment joins Hanako's riceless platter. I hastily make some tea to complicate the picture. Well, I'm looking forward to this. As I take a bite, I notice Hanako trying her hardest not to look like she is looking at me. It's nothing special, but then again, I can't really complain. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cooking for myself. Not bad. I guess this is made with the stuff you brought yesterday?
Yes.
Hanako's eyes shout at me, begging for some kind of feedback. Well, it was clearly worth it. Thanks, Hanako.
I wanted to show you this after yesterday.
It's okay. I was just a little surprised at the stuff you were buying. Hanako's always liked to experiment when it comes to food. I think it's good, most of the time. While Lily's smile doesn't waver, the slight change in her tone tells me that things have not gone so well in the past. And it's not like Hanako has many people to sample her cooking. Hang on, was Lily waiting for me to go first? She didn't start eating until after I said it was alright. You were the guinea pig in this scenario, Hisao. Her cheeky grin tells me that this was a deliberate action on her part. I'll have to try to work out how to get one over her in the future to make up for this. Well, it's good, and that's all that counts, right?
Right.
Lily, satisfied at not being the first to sample Hanako's creation, begins to consume the food in front of her. I find myself staring as I watch her chopsticks gently touch the plate, their tips delicately poking and tracing, to quickly ascertain the positions of the food as she dexterously picks it up. One might think she were a child playing with her food if not for the situation, though she does it with such care and thoughtlessness that it's obvious this is simple how she eats this kind of meal. Not wanting to miss out, I start filling up myself. Hanako takes a different approach, waiting until Lily and I have our hands clear before quickly snatching up her share. Before long, the containers are empty, save for the still-shut rice container.
Thank you, Hanako. That was filling. No, thank you for the bread.
Yes, it would have been a disaster if not for that.
You're both welcome. But now I must be getting back. It's far too easy to be late after eating here.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think I'll just clean up here and then head off.
Well then, good day.
Lily leaves her cane tapping away down the quiet hallway. Hanako and I quickly pack our things and stay seated, waiting for the bell. Together we stare out the window and into the endless azure sky. If it weren't for the pealing of bells, I would have sworn that time had stopped. The urge to skip class rises in my gut. I shoot a glance at Hanako, who shows no sign of moving either.
Not just yet.
The interval between the warning bells and the lunch bell passes in the blink of an eye. We really should go. People will find out and start a search party if we skip. Hanako sighs.
You're right.
Slowly she rises to her feet, and I follow suit. Silently we are making our way up the old stairs to the third floor and then to our classroom. At the door I take a point and open the door ahead of Hanako, bowing my head in apology in advance. Sorry we're late, teacher. I am greeted not by stern words nor by an angered instruction to take my seat, but simply the silence created by 15 or so students trying not to laugh. Matao Evertardi has yet to arrive. However, the fact that Hanako and I have arrived together is blatantly obvious. Oh my god, why do they care? Make that about 14 students trying and 1 student failing.
The numbers return. Wah!
Yeah, thanks. You can calm down now. I step through the door and realize that Hanako is firmly pressed against my back, hiding herself from the class. No. Why is everybody in this classroom a friggin' sneeze bag? Who cares if we're hanging out? Oh, I didn't get to read it. Oops. Well. Quickly checking the door for any signs of the teacher's arrival, I make a trip to Hanako's desk and whisper in her ear. Don't worry about Misha, she's always like this. I enjoyed myself today. Don't sweat it, okay? Hanako nods her head behind her folded arms, but still doesn't show her face. I yearn to stay and console her more, but Matao picks this exact moment to enter the class halfway through his lecture, as if he started it in the hallway. Which of course is directly proportional to the charge, but inversely proportional to the square of the distance. He's so engrossed in his speech that he doesn't even notice me sneaking back into my seat from Hanako's desk. While Matao's spiel rambles on, Misha leans over to me.
The teacher may not have noticed your tardiness, but I did.
That much is obvious from the show you just put on.
I've been instructed to let you off the hook for today. But only on one condition.
I could join the student council? Oh, what would that be?
You have to help us this afternoon.
Okay, never mind. I crane my neck to look over Misha's shoulder. Shizune is conveniently not making eye contact with me. Fine, just for today. I've already told you I'm not joining the council, remember?
Of course, doing so could be considered.
She looks down at her notebook, obviously looking for her place in her script.
Under duress, and hence would be against regulations.
How very strange of you to be considerate of the regulations now.
Things should be done by the book. It's just the book hasn't been written for every situation, so there are times when it can be ignored.
And yet, you two wonder why no one else would be in the student council. After poking her tongue out at me, Misha returns to her workbook and we battle our way through the latter half of the school day. Oh, excuse me. Before I can even stand up, Misha and Suzune have placed their hands on both of my shoulders. Oh, God. Hey, I said I'd help out. Damn.
This is just insurance, Hisao. Insurance. Hisao?
Hanako timidly tries to leave the room by circling around us, and I suddenly realize that this may be my one chance to escape. Oh, hey, Hanako. What's up? Dot.
Hey, what makes you think that you've got the time to chat?
Oh, relax. This won't take long. Sorry, Hanako. What were you saying?
I was going to the library, and I thought...
Hanako's thumbs dancing around each other, and her eyes flit around the room, looking everywhere but at us.
Sorry, Hanako, but Hisao has to come with us. He's got work to do.
Dot.
Oh, but you can help us too if you'd like.
So how about it, Hisao? I've done enough work for the council already. What do you think, Hanako? I kind of want to say I've done enough work for the council already. I think I'm going to do that one. Yeah, screw you guys. Hey Shizune, I know I said I'd help, but I forgot I already made plans. Besides, I'd help out more than my fair share last week, didn't I? I promise I'll make it up to you some other time. Shizune and Misha release their grip on me and have a long, deep, and silent conversation.
Well, you have a point there. To be honest, we're only going to spend the rest of the budget on cakes.
Oh my god.
So if you're not there, it works out better. More cake for us.
Okay, good thing I didn't go with them then. I don't know if I want to stuff my face with cake with them. They're so judgmental of Hanako. And that we're friends. I don't like them. Shizune about faces and marches out the door, and Misha keeps out after her. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Last week, those two were like bloodhounds, or prison guards. Or maybe prison guards bred from bloodhounds. Isn't that bestiality? I feel like that's not a good combination. But I get what he's going with. It's like a figure of speech, I guess you could say. I can't believe I just thought that, let alone saying it out loud. I think I need to move away from Kenji. Yup. Never mind. Anyway, should we go to the library?
Sure.
Hanako follows me through the still crowded hallway to the library, using me as a shield. Hi, Yuko. As soon as we are through the door, Hanako bolts for the counter where Yuko is stacking books. Is she gonna freak out again? Before I can catch up, Hanako is whispering something to her. You'd find that in the nonfiction, but I don't know where exactly. If you want, I can look it up.
Never mind.
Hey, Yuko, what's this all about? Oh, Sal, Hanako was just looking for a book on...
Nothing.
A book on nothing? in the fiction section.
I was just...
I shoot a glance at Yuko. She looks like she's about to burst from the pressure of keeping Hanako's request secret. Yuko, what did...
Chess! She was looking for a chess book.
I see. I make a mental note to never entrust Yuko with any important information.
Yuko!
I'm sorry, Hanako, it just slipped out. Well, it's not a secret anymore. Come on, I'll give you a hand. I should really brush up on my skills, too.
Oh, okay.
Yuko disappears behind the counter in shame as Hanako and I wander into the depths of the non-fiction section. I know this is supposed to be a system for categorizing these books, but I don't see how anyone can decipher it without spending half of their life researching it. That's probably why all the librarians I know are neurotic. Toward the end of the aisle, between a book on card tricks and some book on kids' games, standing in a single book bearing the title Chess Tactics for Champions. Before I can reach for it, Hanako has the book in her hands, clutching it to her chest. Well, I guess that's yours then. Mind if I borrow it when you're finished?
Sure, I just haven't really played against anyone but Lily before, so I thought...
Damn, it's not like I was trying to be Hanako deliberately or anything, but she seems to have taken it to heart. Then again, at least this means she wants to play me again. That's a plus, right? Ha! Well, it's not like I'm a master or anything, I just played a bit before. It occurs to me that I haven't told Hanako about my condition. I falter for a second, deciding to cover my tracks. That is a conversation for another day, before I came here.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I was just remembering something. When I think about it, I shouldn't be afraid to tell Hanako about my condition. That's what I'm saying, like, why are you so skittish about telling people your condition? In my time in the hospital, then again, I have some health issues, and I don't necessarily like telling people about it. Or I don't like talking about it, because it just makes me feel not well. So I can understand from his perspective. Judging by her scale, she probably spent a fair amount of time in a hospital bed. What? You're assuming by her scars? I guess that could be... I wonder what happened to her, but she's not gonna have to say anything about it. I mean, you can obviously see she has scars, but for some reason I can't bring it up, at least not today, and not on short notice. Well, yeah, that'd be kind of rude. You're becoming friends and to ask her out of the blue, how'd you get those scars, would just be kind of like a buzzkill, I guess. Eager to break off the conversation, I grab a random book from the shelf. It's some book in the world's fastest roller coaster. Published in 1982. Well, not very up to date, but it should at least be interesting. Well, we both got books now. Should we go sit down? Hanako seems to accept my bluff, and we head to read the book to reading nook in the back of the library. Head to the reading nook, okay. Neither of us say a word. We simply open our books and start reading. I try to read my book, but it would seem that in 1982 roller coasters weren't nearly as large as the ones built in the decades since. Most of the ones listed are made of wood. Something about that doesn't seem safe to me. Well, you know, it's not necessarily the sturdiest thing to build, like, supports with. So, yeah, it's probably not safe. If I'm going to write something potentially dangerous, I want it to be made out of steel or some kind of space age alloy that has big words like titanium and ruthenium. I've never heard of that metal before. I quickly lose interest, and my eyes wander across the reading area to rest on Hanako. Hanako seems absorbed in her book, flicking back and forth through the pages as if confirming what she just read. I wonder if that's actually effective, or if she's just overloading herself. She's unconsciously brushing her hair from her face, temporarily revealing her scar tissue. I'm still not sure about the protocol here. Is it right to ask her about her scars or her past? How long was she in the hospital? Does she still visit the doctor? Those are all questions you should ask at a later date. One where you might, when you feel like you can actually talk about that. Not one where it's just like, I know we're barely friends, but let's talk about your scars. And she's already shy, and she already hates it when people look at them, so you're just making her feel worse. These all seem like the question that you'd ask someone who just transferred to your school, translated into the local language. But to date, no one has directly asked me any of them, well, except Rin, but I don't think I should use her as a guide to proper social behavior. Not necessarily. She may make social encounters funny in a sarcastic and awkward way, but she's not going to get you anywhere in the conversation itself. It's in your pants, isn't it? For the first time being, I'll just keep my mouth shut. If someone wants to know something, then they'll tell you. Trying to force the issue might drive Hanako back into her... Yeah, that's... Good job, Hisao. That's exactly what I've been saying. You don't want to push her back into herself, because your brain is a very dangerous place, and once you're inside of it, it's hard to get out of it. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to close the library now. Already? I checked my watch. Somehow, as I was lost in thought, nearly 2 hours had passed. Jeez. Do you want to check out those books? I can do it on the way out.
Please?
I'm done. I'll drop this one back on the way through. It wasn't as interesting as I first thought. Hanako marks her place with a slip of paper and stands up. The girls head to the counter and I return my book to what I think is the right shelf. Yuko scans Hanako's book with practiced precision, yet still manages to fumble it. Oh, there we go. Third time lucky. Since this is a non-fiction book, you can only have it for a week. Jeez.
That's okay.
Yuko shuts down the library's computer and herds us out the door. Arg! I didn't think it was this late already. But you're the one that told us you had to close. Yes, but that was before I looked at the time. I'll see you later. Oh, because she's got to work at the tea place. I think, yeah, because she was the hostess, whatever you want to call it. Well, hostess and chef. Yuko bolts down the hallway, her handbag trailing behind her like an awkward streamer. I guess all librarians really are neurotic.
Huh?
Never mind. I was just thinking that I've never met a librarian that can organize their time, no matter how good they are with their books.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Hanako smiles in amusement. It wasn't meant to be a joke, but I must have reminded her of some other librarians or something. Just be happy you're making her smile, man. She doesn't have that many people in her life besides Lily and now us.
I have to get back.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize it was this late. Thanks for letting me hang out with you.
No problem.
I'm going to my dormitory room now, anyway, so do you mind if I tag along?
Oh, okay.
Hanako sets off ahead of me, and I need to jog a little to reach her side. We walk through the gardens, eventually arriving in front of the dorm buildings. Man, you walk pretty fast. I used to play soccer in a soccer club, and you managed to outpace me. I kind of regret saying that. It has less to do with her pace than the fact that my condition has significantly worsened my fitness. Hanako's reaction is odd. I expected an awkward attempt to downplay her walking speed, but she just blushes and looks at her feet and smiling. Aww. Silence hangs in the air between us. That happens often around Hanako, but feels slightly different than usual this time. After a few seconds, I try to break the silence. Here you go. See you in class tomorrow?
Sure.
Hanako waves a short goodbye before pushing her way through the dorm's doors. I stand and look at them for a while before making my way to my own dormitory room. End of day? Yep. Beep beep. Oh, there's no alarm this time. Chirping birds. Normally this would be a good time to reflect upon the beauty of nature. But it is 6 a.m. So what, bruh? I wake up at like 6:20 in the morning. Covering my head with the pillow, I slam my face into the mattress, hoping that the impact will send me instantly back to sleep. Futile. I toss and turn, but sleep simply won't return to me. Alright, nature, you've won. See, I'm getting up now. The lack of sleep weighs my mind down, and there's only one remedy for this: a nice, hearty breakfast. It would be nice to be the first person here. To be the first person to dig into a piping hot pile of food to sit wherever I desire. It would have been nice, but even my exceptionally early start has put me behind the most diligent students. I guess there are quite a few people that have early starts here, for one reason or another. A group of students in sports clothes huddle around the table, eagerly discussing game plans in between inhaling great gulps of food. Jeez. Scattered around the hall are a number of bleary-eyed students probably suffering from the same ailment as myself: noisy birds. And of course there are two people that actually enjoy getting up this early, the ones with their bags stuffed with textbooks and completed homework. It's hard not to despise people like that, even more so when you're tired yourself. Picking out a familiar face from the thin crowd, I head towards the nearest table. Lily sits alone, delicately feeling her way around a small plate of eggs with her fork. It's almost a shame to interrupt her with her clockwork movements. I wonder, is this how a blind person zones out, simply moving in predetermined patterns, learned over the years, just like how a sighted person would eat while reading a newspaper? Good morning, Lily. I didn't expect you to be here this early.
Oh, Hisao, you startled me. I didn't know you took breakfast this early.
I don't. This is an exception for the rule. I'd greatly prefer to be late to school than early to breakfast. Lily gives a small sigh at my admitted tardiness as I begin eating my food. It doesn't take long for her to lapse back into her previous mindless nibbling. Each short motion lacks energy. I suppose this is similar to letting your eyes wander while performing any ordinary chore. But after a few repetitions of the find food, eat food cycle, Lily puts down her fork and dabs her lips with a napkin.
Hisao, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Damn, all I want is a little food and about 4 hours of sleep, and nobody says, "Can I ask you a question for a simple question?" Sure.
Do you think of Hanako as a friend?
Yes, if it was me talking, yeah, I would. This seems like a leading question. I guess so. Why do you ask?
No real reason. I do have another question, though. Why is it that you think of her as a friend?
This is well above my level. What is she expecting from me? I'm not really sure. I guess it's because she's a little different in the way she deals with people.
Since I've known her, she hasn't really connected with anyone. She doesn't seem interested in other people, and I think people are a little scared off by her appearance.
Really? I thought that kind of thing was, discouraged here, discriminating and such.
If I was to put it one way,
okay. She furrows her brow in thought, a move which makes me slightly anxious as to what she's plucking from her mind.
I'd say that you're a little naive.
Naive? I'd be insulted if not for the slightly cynical grin on her face. I see.
Well, Yamaku has a stronger sense of community compared to the other schools. It's far from being free of conflict. Rules cannot remove human nature, after all. Only suppress it.
She's got a really good point. That's something I've noticed, actually. Just little things like how certain people and cliques avoid each other in the hallway. It's no different than my old school, really. Even Lily and Shizune could be considered bitter rivals, even though they both seem like fairly accepting people. Well, at least the Misha-tinted Shizune does. Who knows what actually goes on with her fingers and behind her glasses. I guess you're right, but when I first came here, everything was a bit of a shock. I kept on making mistakes, or at least thinking I was making mistakes, like when we first met and I said I see to you. I didn't know if that was considered rude or anything, so I tried to just put it in the back of my mind, treating people any differently and that kind of thing. So I didn't. I told myself that Hanako and you and everyone else was just normal, and I tried to ignore the obvious. I talked to Hanako as if she was any other person, and so we became friends. At least, that's how I think it happened. But I feel guilty just for saying something like that aloud, as if it took extra effort to think of Hanako, or you, or anyone here as normal people. I don't think that's right.
Hisao, I think you are naive, but I also think that you are a good person. It is perhaps one of your better traits.
I suppose I can take that as a compliment.
Tell me, are you free tonight?
If you don't count homework, then I'm as free as the breeze.
In that case, would you care to join myself and Hanako for tea?
I don't really have that much money at the moment, so going out isn't really...
Oh, I didn't mean going out, just here, this evening.
You can access the classrooms in the evening here?
No, that's what I meant. Hanako and I often use my room for tea parties, together. Please, feel free to drop by after dusk.
Sure, I see no problem with that. What's your room number?
225, room 25, on the second floor.
Okay, sure. This is starting to sound like a setup. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but this is starting to sound like a setup. Honestly, maybe not. It's probably going to be like one of those casual conversation type things.
Well then, I had best be off. I have class representative duties to attend to, after all. Until this evening, Hisao.
Yeah, catch you later. What, that's like 12 hours away from now? Hang on. Was I just invited to a girl's room after hours? Is that even allowed? There is a curfew here, but I never heard any rules about visitors in the dorm rooms. Even still, this is enough to get my sleep-deprived brain jump-started. And that to a lukewarm breakfast, and you have one hell of a pick-me-up. I grudgingly go to class, still a little excited at the prospect of breaking the rules. I feel a little like a kid planning to sneak out of his window at night. No, jeez. Honestly, that's probably how I would feel. Like, oh my god, a girl invited me over. Well, maybe that's going a little too far. But when you compare an invitation to a party to 6 or so hours of lectures, I know which one wins. Meisha and Shizune do little to relieve my boredom either. For once, they seem determined to actually complete Mitao's assignments. Good. Stay on my business, girls. Nevertheless, the day eventually winds to a close. I hurry back to my room to wash up and comb my hair. Thankfully, I don't run into Kenji. That's a good thing. Before long, I am leaving my boys' dorm. Boys' dorm. I nervously rap on the door marked 225, checking my watch once again.
Is that you, Hisao? The door is open. You can come in.
Lily's voice lilts through the door and soothes my nerves. This is the first time I've been invited to a girl's room after dark. Even though I know there is no ulterior motive behind this invitation, it doesn't stop my mind running wild with possibilities. One guy, 2 girls, in a dorm, with the tea set. When I put it like that, it sounds a little dodgy. Excuse me, one sec. Excuse me. Giving a small sigh to steady myself, I gingerly put my hand on the handle and opened the door, craning my head to see inside. Excuse me. They're in pajamas, huh? The door opens completely, and I catch my first glimpse of Lily's room. Her furniture looks almost antique, but the bare walls and flat surfaces are barely decorated at all. In the center of the room sits a low table where I see a small tea set at rest. But there's only 1 cup. I don't understand. 2 girls, 1 cup. Oh no. I don't like where this is going. It seems that everyone in this room has its place, possibly excepting the severe piles of books stacked up against the wall. I forgot that, like, Hanako's directly across from Lily, or at least I think she's directly across from Lily. I think they mentioned that in, like, way beginning, if I'm not wrong. Then again, I haven't played this game in a while, so... Well, I played it yesterday, but since, yesterday, it's been, like, a week or two since I played it last. My sense of vision isn't the only one to be stimulated. The faint smell of something can be picked up on the air. Nail polish, perfume, makeup... It's hard to describe in any other way than girly. Well, us guys don't understand, so you got it right, Hanako. My eyes finished their quick sweep of the room before returning to their position onto the girls. Lily sits next to the small table wearing very dark blue pajamas. Those are blue? I thought they were black. Dark blue pajamas with shorts that show off plenty of her alluring pale legs. Hanako sits opposite her. Hanako sits adorned in a conservative light pink gown. Well, yeah, you can tell that's light pink. I thought I was going to say, like, super light purple. Nope. Her hands are firmly fixed between her legs, her shoulders forward, and her head down as if trying to hide herself in it. Her head doesn't look down in this, but okay. It would be easy for her to do. It looks about 2 sizes too big for her. Waves of flannel flow from her frame, making her look like a child playing dress-up in her parents' clothes. She looks up to confirm my identity, and the smile creeps across her face before vanishing so fast that I can't be sure they even were there. There's no point in you standing in the doorway, Hisao. How did you know I was just standing? Well, then again, I probably didn't make a sound when I walked in or anything, so... Or, like, since I walked through the entrance of the door, I probably didn't make any footsteps just standing there, so that's probably how she knew. I take a step into the room, closing the door behind me. My, I'm afraid this really is a small room for the 3 of us. Would you like to take a seat? I slowly walk to the table and sit down, trying my hardest not to disturb anything along the way. I also can't help but steal a quick glance into Lily's top as I sit. To be robbed of sight would be a most terrible fate. Well now, how about some tea, Hanako? Could you please pour? Sure, Hisao would. Would you like? I would love some tea. Do you need a hand? No, I'm fine. Thank you. Lily finds it difficult to resist a smile at her companion's nervousness, something I can't really blame her for. Been a tiring day. Yeah. I relax at my place opposite of the cabinet. To my left is the blue-clad Lily. To my right sits the pink Hanako. Oh, there's 3 plates, okay. The tea set's on the table, cute as well as practical, painted red with a floral motif, something like that, I don't know. It looks odd when contrasted with Lily's plain but generally sophisticated looking furniture, which leads me to think that Hanako might have picked it out. There's a slight ting when Hanako accidentally clips the teapot on a cup as she's pouring. She breathes in sharply. She must be really nervous, as it's not the kind of thing anyone would worry about. Hanako quivers at her mistake. No. It's okay, Hanako. There's no reason to be nervous. Hanako seems to find some confidence in Lily's reassuring soft-spoken words and deftly pours the next 2 cups. Here you are, Hisao. Lily. Hanako carefully places a cup and saucer in front of Lily and myself. I could get used to service like this. Thank you, Hanako. Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Lily searches for her cup, and upon finding it, sips delicately. I do the same. This tea tastes somewhat better than the tea we usually have at school. This is nice. It's so different from any tea I've had before.
Looks like you picked the right one, Hanako. You've done well, even if it was a bold move.
Hanako's smile returns redoubled. Even with her blighted face, her shy smile could be called anything but cute.
I know, she's adorable. I'm glad you like it.
Hanako, finally beginning to relax, sips from her cup. Something about this makes me think about Lily's question at breakfast. Why am I friends with Hanako? Because you're nice to her, and she needs a friend other than Lily because she's lonely, and everybody else ignores her. Lily seems genuinely concerned for Hanako's well-being, but it's not like I can do anything to help her. As far as I can tell, her scars don't hold her back physically, and everyone I've met seems to have overcome their disabilities to some extent. I don't have any ulterior motives to hang out with Hanako. We just share similar interests. Isn't that enough? To be friends, yes.
So, Hisao, are you enjoying yourself?
Lily's words break me out of my reverie, something like that, and I take a second to reconsider where I am. Reverie, maybe? I don't know. I'm in a room with two girls in their bedclothes. This is something to be enjoyed. Yeah, it's relaxing. Almost like I'm not in the school anymore. Do you do this often?
Quite often, but not as often as we take tea in the school building.
Considering they do that nearly every day, that's not a big surprise. As I move to take another sip from my teacup, I find it sadly empty. That was delicious. Thank you, Hanako. Lily.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're most welcome, Hisao. It's nice to have a third person here. Well, anytime you need someone to fill that position, I'm always available. Always. One must be sure to get one's point across in these circumstances. Lily lets loose a yawn, which she unsuccessfully hides. God dang it! Oh, reading the word yawn, I felt it coming on. Unsuccessfully hides with her hand.
Pardon me, I think I'm a little tired. I think we're all a little tired. My, how astute we are tonight, Hanako. We really should head to bed. We all have class tomorrow.
Yeah, I should go.
Thank you for your presence, Hisao. Thanks. You'll come again?
Not even a whole army could stop me.
I am impressed by your determination, Hisao.
Either way, you're right. We'd best get going. I stand up and make for the door. Hanako gingerly stands up behind me. I stop and face her. Are you coming with me? Dude, she lives across the dorm. Hanako instantly blossoms into flush blush.
No, this room isn't...
It's okay, I was only joking.
Oh, okay. Good night.
Oh my gosh. Good night, Hanako.
Good night, Hisao.
Night all. And with that, our tea party finishes. I'm still not sure Jiminy Christmas. I'm not sure what it is that Lily wants me to do for Hanako, but I don't want to let her down. I wait until the door has closed behind us before turning to Hanako. Hey Hanako, you know you don't have to be nervous around me or anything. I mean, we're friends, right?
Right, we're friends.
If you ever want to hang out or anything, just let me know. We still need to have that chess rematch, remember?
Sure. But I don't think you'll win.
It wouldn't be any fun if it was easy. Hanako seems to give a muted laugh, but she could have just as easily been exhaling.
Good night, Hisao.
With that, Hanako quickly retreats into her room, located next to Lily's. I start to walk back to my dorm, but the simple act of walking seems to drain me of my energy. I barely make it to my room before I am hit by a wave of exhaustion. I kick off my shoes, fall into bed, and fall asleep by the time my head hits the pillow. Wow, you were tired, dude. Alright, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already, share. Other than that, thanks for the support, the continued support on all my videos and channel and stuff, and starting to get new people involved into my videos, like Cody. You probably already noticed he's new. We've been friends since like 7th grade. Yeah, no, since the beginning of middle school. Not 7th grade. Yeah, since middle school started, but yeah, it's been nice to have him on a few of my videos, along with all of my other friends that take time out of their day to join me on here, so I'd like to thank them real quick. But yep, thanks guys for watching, and keep up the good work on the continued support. Anyways, bye guys.